Community begins when people connect and grows when they work together. Every day in the Kansas City region, kids go to school, people go to work, patients see doctors, goods get delivered. That's how life happens. And a healthy community has a transportation system to support it. But time and economic challenges take their toll on these paths and on the people who travel them. In 2010, roads, sidewalks, transit stops, and main routes needed immediate help across the metro.
The U.S. infrastructure is in decay. We have a power grid that is over 100 years old, and when you start thinking about the power grid is also, in many instances, the same age as the bridges, the roads around them, you can understand how bad things are.
You cannot push a baby stroller down many of the sidewalks because they're so cracked or broken or upheaved. Senior citizens certainly don't feel comfortable in walking very far in their neighborhoods because of the whole trip hazard.
Even in parts of the community where we have very good bus service, such as right here in the urban core, there are challenges getting to and from the bus stops. But some of the challenges are it's more difficult to get to places such as Johnson County or Western Wyandotte County, where today we don't have strong transit service. We don't have the transit infrastructure and amenities.
Among the programs born out of the nation's economic recession, one brought an infusion of funds and hope when our region and the nation needed it most. Transportation Investment Generating Economic Recovery, or TIGER. And now, new roads to progress are being paved, thanks to our regional grant.
Part of the purpose of the federal TIGER program was to allow for short-term investments in transportation infrastructure to jumpstart the economy, simply to hire people, get contractors employed, and get dollars moving through communities. But the idea was to help America think differently about its transportation infrastructure, to invest in new innovations that will help our communities become more sustainable, more competitive, and position us for success in a 21st century economy.
In the Kansas City region, that means improving safety, expanding access to job opportunities throughout the region, connecting activity centers through transit corridors, and promoting active modes of transportation.
Infrastructure is not just about some basic services that the city is supposed to deliver, but it's about economic development, it's about neighborhood stability, and we're tying all that together with the use of the TIGER grants.
The TIGER program is bringing $50 million in federal funds to transportation projects across the metro, in large part due to an unprecedented bi-state regional collaboration among many different communities and partners.
Here in Overland Park, transportation is one of the top 3 concerns of our citizens. So it's incredibly important that we are improving what I'll call the pedestrian corridor along Metcalf so that the public transit piece is both accessible and is an experience.
Current and future TIGER improvements include transit stations and park and ride facilities along the Metcalf Avenue Shawnee Mission Parkway corridor, enhancements along State Avenue and Minnesota Avenue, primary transit routes in Kansas City, Kansas. In North Kansas City and Independence, Missouri, upgraded bus stops, shelters, and real-time arrival signs are all part of the TIGER plan in our region. And a large-scale effort to build streets, sidewalks, bridges, curbs, and transit improvements in the Green Impact Zone, a 150-block area in Kansas City's urban core. By targeting funds within this area, devastated over the years by unemployment, crime, poverty, and crumbling infrastructure, TIGER will help jumpstart its economic recovery.
We hope that the TIGER grant will be funding some of the transit elements that we can point to as the kind of things we want to do in other corridors throughout the region. This is really part of the Smart Moves plan and the vision we have for a more comprehensive regional system.
If you look at any example across the United States where you have strong regional connections around transit, you're going to see stronger neighborhoods and an interest in living in that kind of dynamic. And That investment will be critical to neighborhood level sustainability and growth, not just in Kansas City, Kansas, but throughout the region.
This really is a point of pride, something we should feel really good about. In fact, Secretary LaHood, the Secretary of Transportation, came to Kansas City to make the first grant announcement for the Tiger program here because he was so impressed with our collaborative spirit and so impressed with it to serve as a model for how communities can think about how they reposition their transportation infrastructure for the future American economy.
The very first thing that improved infrastructure does is that it helps to raise hope. When people can see visible change, it says to them something is happening. Things are moving forward.
Linking communities, sharing goals. That's how we'll grow together.